pretty much I'm gonna start vlogging about how I edit my videos. So I know you guys seen a lot of interviews I've done lately, different kinds of people just talking about their experience, their story in general. I wanted to keep Talks with Tay, my show going. And thankfully, for Zoom, something I didn't look into before this happened, it's just made life a lot easier for me. Have a conversation with someone and still be able to produce really good content out of it. So yeah, you don't really have to have the whole production thing set up. As long as it's good content, good conversation, then I think that's something that I've learned through this journey. So yeah, I just wanted to vlog about how I've been doing that and how I've adjusted from wanting everything to look super perfect, everything has to be like this, everything has to be like that, to no, just this is another way. And I've created a system because a lot of people have been asking me, like, where did you get that graphic from, like how did you create that graphic, or how do you edit your videos? To be honest, I haven't really taken the time to create a course to show you guys how to create video editing. I figured just vlogging about it, just talking about it, just sharing it is probably the best way for me to get it out, to share it with you guys. I've also done a webinar how to create your own talk show. If you go to my link in my bio, just click on how to create your own talk show. It's actually on Fiverr. But in the meantime, I'm still going to show you guys how to edit your own videos. So if you don't want to even, learn more in depth of how to create your own talk show, at least I'm going to show you how to edit your videos. So first things first, what I do when I edit my videos, I like to edit in Premiere Pro. I've tried Final Cut Pro. I've tried iMovie. There's nothing wrong with those platforms, I guess, but I just feel more comfortable in Premiere Pro. It's a lot easier. There's more options. I just like the platform. And then another thing, don't be intimidated when people say like Final Cut or Premiere Pro. It's really not that hard. Like, all you gotta do is just try it. Like, it's not that hard. That's another thing. Like, on YouTube, yes, there's a lot of other videos that can teach you how to edit. So don't feel like the way I edit is the way you gotta follow. There's tons of other people that are teaching great content, but this works for me, so I figured might as well share it because it can work for somebody else. What I'm going to show you in this video is how I take my recording interview conversation with someone on Zoom. I save it to my computer. It automatically saves. You can set that up in Zoom. I will show a tutorial on that as well as part of my vlogging. But back to video editing. Once that saves in my computer, I put it on my hard drive and I just drop it in Premiere Pro. Once I drop into Premiere Pro, then pretty much I made my intro video, and I have my intro videos the same as my outro video. Some people like to switch it up, but it's the same. So I drop my intro video, the full interview, and then I have my outro video. I might put some photos or some videos on top to help tell the story as part of the B-roll, but for the most part, that's it. And then I would just cut away, take out snippets, save to my phone, and that's how I blast out my content. I also been using canva.com, which has been very, very helpful. It's allowed me to create faster content and be able to push my content out there a lot more than usual. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys that, and that's how I pretty much edit my interviews, and we'll just go from there. So now then I'm back. So here, this is where you pretty much create your folder. This is where you import your video footage. Okay, so what I do is you right click. All right, so I'm on a Mac and I like to create a new bin. So I have my Zoom interviews, but I'm just doing this to show you guys. So I'm just gonna put, tutorial. All right, so in the bin, pretty much you double click it, right? And you can right click and go to import. Another way you can import, you go to file and you go down here and you click import. But right here you go import. So what I'm going to do is I have a lot of content, so I'm going to go to my documents. It's a lot easier for me. I'm going to click on Zoom, and then these are my recent interviews. So I'm going to show you guys the interview that I did with special guest that is coming soon. You guys will see a sneak peek of it. You actually won't see like
the actual interview, but yeah, you will get a sneak peek of it. So here we are, the Zoom file. The Zoom clip is in here, and it's just Zoom because that's what Zoom saved it as. So I'm gonna change the name and just go interview with Luke. Okay. So then I click on it and I drag it here, and this is called a sequence. This is where you create a new sequence. Once you drag it there, you see how this is part two. This is part two. Well, you see the new sequence right here. My recording for animated video. I'm actually working on right now. Interview with Lou. So this is a whole new video project, and it's called a sequence. So here it is. Right here where you don't see anything, that means that it was not recording yet. Actually, that means my computer is actually slow and I have to wait for it to pop up. But this is pretty much the video. You can see this is the audio at the bottom, and this is where the video is. So the way I like to edit this, as we're waiting for this to load, in Premiere Pro, if you click on, so here it is, you click on C, right, on your keyboard, the cutter pops up. You click on V, it goes back to the cursor. So C right now I click on, and that's where I'm going to make my cut, right? Because I'm assuming that's where the video is basically about to start. But, you know, due to the interview, sometimes I'm waiting for the guest to arrive to pop up on Zoom. So I'll just go over and see when me and the guests are both on, and that's where I will cut to the video. So right now, again, computer is moving a little slow, but there it is. So now that I see, okay, me and my guests are both on the screen, what I can do is, you know, I can listen to the audio, I can play it to find out exactly where it starts. So since it's just a tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and cut and just assume it's right there. But if I was to really edit this, you know, I would listen to it from the headphones in and be in the zone. And then I would go to the end and figure out, you know, when does the interview actually end. So I'm just going to make a cut there for the time being. So boom, that is pretty much how I drop in my Zoom interview into Premiere. Again, you just double click here, you import, you can create a folder like what I did, and then you just drag the file to here to make a sequence. So here in the green, that means that is the sequence. In the blue, that means that is the video file. So now that I have the video file, I'm going to copy. So you can right click, you can copy, or you can Command C if you have a Mac. And I'm going to do Command V and paste. So I pretty much just duplicated the same video clip, right? Once you duplicate, you duplicate the same video clip, what I do is I put the clip on top of each other. Now, why do I do this? Because I'm about to show you guys how I crop and bring together the footage. So you can see like right now there's space here. I absolutely dislike that, right? So what I try to do is I go to effects here and I click on crop, right? I drag crop, right? And I always do this, I want to say with the top one, right? Because the bottom is going to be easier to place it. So with the top one, what you want to do is zoom in like this, okay? So, sorry, I didn't explain it to you guys. So here, scale, you can either zoom close or zoom out. So I'm going to zoom in close, and position, you can move it left to right. So I'm going to move it to the right because I want Lou's picture to be, you know, to fit the size of the screen. Now you're probably wondering, what about me? Don't worry about it. That's why we put the crop file in. So we're going to crop the right side. Okay, so crop the right side, not too far, but right where the line is, where it looks like he comes in the middle. And then I'll keep playing around with it. I'll move this over so it comes out even. So that's the top video file. The bottom video file, I just zoom in on myself, see it's a lot easier. Move it to the left, use position. Maybe I can bring it down, and then I'll play around with it. I'll probably make the loop a little bigger so we look kind of like the same as you will see on a news show. So, whoa, didn't want to do that. Brought over to. So that's how I pretty much create my images together. So now that you see I have both the same file, both the same audio, it's going to be too loud, right? So what I do, I click on, it doesn't matter which one you click on. You right click, you come down and you click unlink. Now the reason why you want to do this is you only want one audio file. You don't want two audio files because then it's going to sound really loud. So that's pretty much it. And then I'll just drop my intro here. I'll drop my outro videos there. So the way I do that, I already created it. So these are all my sequences. So I have a lot of files, guys. So what I'll do, I'll go to like one of my former interviews I've done. And I know this is my intro video. And I also put it as my outro. So I just copy it. And then I go to interview with Lou. And I'll just paste for the intro and I'll paste for the outro. And you're probably like, well, where did it go? So if you click on your laptop on the plus sign, and that's how you zoom in. And if you click on the minus sign, that's how you zoom out. So I'm clicking on plus. And I just clicked on this empty space, right? Because I want to close this gap. So literally just take your cursor and click on the empty space and press delete on your keyboard. It just comes in closer like that. Same thing here. Come here, zoom in, click on the empty space. So I'm zooming in and out and click delete. Boom, it's together. So yeah, I want to get rid of this empty space so it starts right away. So I have my intro playing. I have my interview here in the middle. They're combined together and I have my outro. Now, you're probably wondering, what about the lower third? So I come here to my graphics, and this is where I get my lower thirds. All right, it's already here in the system. This is why I love Premiere Pro. Final Cut has lower thirds as well, but this is it right here. So pretty much what I would usually do, I would drag it over and start from scratch. But I already created this preset where I don't have to start from scratch and do all that editing. So again, I will go back to one of my former interviews. I'm just going to use Ree as an example. So for hers, she already has her lower third that I created already for me. So I literally just copy. So again, you can right click and press copy, or what I just did, Command C, and I go back to my recent interview with Lou, and I will paste in the open area because you don't want to paste it on top of anything. And then you just drag it over top, okay? Now you see, okay, this is too big. So what do? You just shorten it. Take your cursor and you shorten it. All right, so you don't want it in the intro like this. So you just line it up where you want it to start. And as you can see, you see the white line pop up here. That means that's where it's going to start. And the same thing here. You want to clean it up. You don't want it over top of your outro. It looks kind of crazy. So now you're wondering, what about the words, right? This isn't Brianna Gross interview. So what I just do, I just go here, click on the graphic. So you're probably wondering, well, where do you edit? You click on edit, okay? Then it pops up, talk to Tay, COVID-19 impact, and then you can change it to, your guest name and their story. So that's pretty much it, guys. I just gave you a sneak peek of how I edit my interview. And I hope this was helpful. Again, I will have to render this. That's why it's moving so slow. But I showed you guys how I create my interviews from start to finish. So hope this was helpful. Stay tuned for the next video, and yeah, we'll just go from there.
All right, guys, that was pretty much it. I hope that was helpful to show you guys how I edit my interviews. So if you see any of my interviews and you're wondering, how does she do that? That's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. Just have a conversation in Zoom, record it automatically, go straight to your computer, drop it in Premiere. Make sure you create an intro and outro video. Add a graphic, lower third if you like, and just make sure you combine the video together. That's the type of look you're going for. So thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. It's my first vlog about how I edit my videos, and more content will be coming soon.